Hello again, YouTube. I'm Justin. This is my second official video on my new channel, Justin Jargon, and coincidentally, it is actually a follow-up video of my first one. My first video, I talked about the NES Classic and the rants that I was listening to on YouTube, and bottom line, to summarize that, the NES games are mostly nothing new to us. You know, we've all played it before, and Nintendo has promised that they will release more systems here on during the holidays and beyond. And so let's just have some patience and wait for it. You know, I was lucky enough to get my own copy, and I understand that if you think that you know, I can easily say this because I have one in my hand. Maybe, regardless, you know, Nintendo has promised, and I think they will deliver. And so anyways, YouTuber Nintendo Collecting provided his list of 30 games that he would like to see on the tentative SNES Classic that Nintendo will probably produce. And he also conveniently provided a hashtag of which is hashtag SNES Collecting 30 for YouTubers like me and like you to provide a list of 30 games that we would like to see on the SNES console. And so anyways, I'm going to make this video rather fast because as I have to go through 30 games, I can imagine it'll take a while to get through. And so let's just cut to the chase. I based my list on 4 different criteria. Criteria number 1, what are the SNES system strengths? You know, let's face it, you know, they excelled in platformers and role-playing games. And so I expect to see probably at least 2/3 of the games in these 2 genres. All right. Criteria number 2, what games are iconic to the SNES? You know, I can expect to see Mario games on here. You know, everyone can identify specific games to the SNES, and I expect to see those games on this console. And so therefore they have made my list. Criteria number 3, the NES console provided a lot of titles that are the beginning of a franchise. I expect to see sequels make this list to those games that made the NES Classic. And criteria number 4, I just expect to see a variety of games on here. You know, I'm not going to exclude certain titles or excuse me, certain genres because they're just not playable. There are certainly playable games in every genre on this system, and so I have put them on my list. So moving forward, here's number 1 on my list. I expect to see Super Mario World, of course. You know, Mario is Nintendo's mascot. You know, it's arguably the best game, Mario game, period. You know, it is mine. And so anyways, number 2, Yoshi's Island. I expect to see the sequel, of course. You know, another Mario Nintendo title. Number 3 on this list, I expect to see Super Bomberman 2. All right. If we learn anything from the NES Classic, it is that they like to see multiplayer games, and Super Bomberman 2 is a fantastic follow-up to Super Bomberman. You know, it's better than that original title in every way, in my opinion. So I would like to see Super Bomberman 2 in my number 3 spot. Number 4, Kirby Superstar. You could, I guess, put the other Kirby title on this list, but I would like to see Kirby Superstar for reasons of it had variety. You know, it was vibrant. It was fast-paced, and so Kirby Superstar. Number 5 on my list is Kirby's Dream Course. Totally underrated game. Is it a puzzle game? I don't know. Is it a golf game? I don't know. I don't care. And it's a game that you can get good at, which is rare for some games, for some titles and for some genres. So Kirby's Dream Course. Number 6, I would love to see a puzzle game, and the puzzle game of my choice is Tetris Attack. You know, there's nothing else like it. All right, you know, moving the blocks around in that unique way. And so, anyways, I'd love to see Tetris Attack, another strong title on the SNES. Number 8, I would love to see Super Metroid. Of course, you saw Metroid on the NES Classic, and so I expect to see its predecessor on the SNES Classic. Number 9, if we're going to dip into the sports genre, number 1 on my list would be NBA Jam Tournament Edition. It's better than NBA Jam for the cheat codes, and you know, I mean, you could play as the Clintons and stuff. So anyways, and mascots. So I would love to see NBA Jam Tournament Edition make this list. Number 10, Mario Kart. You know, the beginning of a franchise. Mario Kart. You know, it was unlike any other racing game. You know, you could battle your friends, and again, another multiplayer game. So Mario Kart. Number 11, another racing game. Of course, you're gonna put F-Zero on this list. F-Zero, you know, it was another launch title, and you know, it was Sega Fast, you know, and so it blew everyone's mind. You can't not put it on this list. Number 12, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I don't want to see Street Fighter Alpha 2, 2 out there. I don't want to see Street Fighter, a little ordinary. Street Fighter 2 is a happy medium, and I would love to see it on this list. Great game. Number 13, another great fighting game, a mature kind of fighting game, Killer Instinct. Memorable characters, Orchid guys, and combo system and etc. I mean, it was a great game. So, Killer Instinct for number 13. Number 14, Castlevania 4. As we already saw a couple installments of the Castlevania franchise on the NES Classic, I expect to see Castlevania 4 on this list. There's no way around it. And so, anyways, Castlevania 4. Number 15, another sports title, is Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Not winning run, but baseball. It had good mechanics. It was a fine game. A lot of sports games just don't hold up. You usually see them pretty discounted, wherever it is that you're finding them. But this one holds up. This title holds up. So, moving forward, number 16, I expect to see Final Fight 2. Final Fight 1 was great, but it wasn't multiplayer. So, Final Fight 2, I expect to see on this list. I also expect to see, somewhere along the line, I got out of order. I'm going to go back in my list. I want to see Turtles in Time on this list. Dag nabbit. We didn't get Turtles 2 on the NES Classic. And I don't know if we'll get Turtles in Time on the SNES Classic for unknown reasons. Maybe, it's just too expensive to put on there. But I really want to see this. Fantastic. It's like the best bash 'em, beat 'em up game on the SNES, or period for that matter. So let's put Turtles in Time on that list. All right, moving forward, Mega Man X. I want to see a Mega Man game on this list. I think we will. I think it's a given. I'm not going to swamp the SNES Classic with multiple and Mega Man titles. Okay, I think really if you've played one Mega Man game, you've played them all, the X ones. And so, therefore, I am choosing the one that's most classic. And so I think we just need to save room for all these other great titles, and not swamp, like I said, swamp the system with Mega Man games. So Mega Man X. Moving on, Donkey Kong Country. Of course, Donkey Kong. We got Donkey Kong of a different nature on the NES Classic, and so I expect to see Donkey Kong Country. Mind-blowing game when it came out. Next, Donkey Kong Country 2. It excelled Donkey Kong Country. Dixie Kong, a fantastic player to play as. New moves and stuff. So, anyways, great themes. So, Donkey Kong Country 2. I would love to see Earthworm Jim make this list. I would exchange it for Earthworm Jim 2. They're both equal in my book. But I guess if you're going to start something, you might as well start with Earthworm Jim. Fantastic humor, fantastic gameplay. Overall great game. I would put Zombies Ate My Neighbor on this game. A unique looking game, unique premise, lots of fun. And so Zombies Ate My Neighbor. I would put Star Fox. You would definitely see Star Fox on this list. There's again the beginning of another franchise, and so does it look dated? Yes, but for its time, it was phenomenal. And so isn't that the point, anyways? Here, So anyways. Moving forward, Contra 3. I know we didn't get Contra on the NES Classic, but Nintendo, please, I will pay more money to get Contra 3 on this system if it does cost you more. Contra 3. Super Punch-Out. It's a sequel to Punch-Out that we saw in the NES Classic, so I would expect to see Super Punch-Out make this list. Now moving on to the RPG realm. Okay, action RPGs. I would like to see Secret of Mana. All right, Secret of Mana, beautiful game, beautiful music, beautiful story. Overall, just great game. Secret of Mana. I expect to see Zelda. Of course, you're going to see Zelda on this list. There's no way it's not going to make this list. Sequel, arguably again, the best Zelda game. And so, anyways, Zelda: A Link to the Past. Earthbound, love it or hate it, it's unique. Let's face it. Everyone needs to get the chance to play it. It's expensive to buy on eBay, and so let's make this on our list. Moving forward, Super Mario RPG. It's a game of its own, really. It's humorous. What RPG besides Earthbound, I guess, but that's quirky. What other RPG is this humorous? Containing Mario characters as well. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Fun role-playing game. I expect to see Final Fantasy 3. I would like to see Final Fantasy 2 make this list, but again, I don't want to swamp the SNES Classic with specific titles of franchises, you know. And so, anyways, Final Fantasy 3. And last but not least, Chrono Trigger. You know, we all saw it coming. So Chrono Trigger, arguably the best SNES RPG, arguably the best RPG ever. So I don't need to say anything more about this. So anyways, this is my list. Comment, put it, you know, give me in the comments, you know, your top 30 games. What would you like to see? What are the criteria that you might expect to utilize in order to compile a list for an SNES Classic? What year would you expect to see it, and how much would you pay for it? You know, answer any of those questions. I'll be happy. Like, subscribe. I'll be happy to provide you with more entertainment. So, anyways, Nintendo collecting. Thank you for this hashtag. Thank you for giving me an excuse to make another video. Adios and goodbye.